Hey skiers, it's Bob with SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2025 ski test. Got a Rossignol Forza V70 for you today. This ski came out last year. It's going to be a carryover model for this year. Same graphics, same construction, and we were incredibly impressed with this Forza 70. Not only because of its front side and carving performance, but I personally thought it was one of the more versatile front side skis out there. It is 78 millimeters underfoot, so kind of encroaching on that 80 millimeter range. But when you look at it, it's very sharp and angular and just has a different overall footprint and profile than a lot of other skis in this kind of 78 to 80 millimeter range have. And I wasn't expecting it to do as well in an all-mountain format with a little bit of versatility, just simply because it looks like such a pure carver. But the versatility of this ski really stood out to me, at least as far as a 78 millimeter ski can go. But we are still built with a full poplar wood core, full Titanal 2 sheets layup on top and bottom of the core. And then we also get their carbon alloy matrix. So stringers of carbon cross-hatched throughout the ski. These are all put in their V-shaped profile. So with a little, I don't want to say dent because dent sounds bad, but a little notch kind of in the laminates of the ski. They're putting more emphasis on the strength and stiffness of those layers. So the metal, the carbon, the fiberglass, all of those are impacted by that V shape put into the ski. Ends up being pretty stiff and very responsive as a result. So pretty cool stuff from Rossi, just kind of taking what they have and then magnifying how those materials play against each other, play with each other, I should say. Nice SPX 14 system binding on here. There's also a V Master, which features an ash wood core and a binding Master's binding plate on here as well. But these are a little bit more suitable for most skiers who are just using them as a wider front side ski. In terms of the shape, we're at 78 millimeters underfoot. This is a 163, so pretty short, 12 meter turn radius. That radius does increase as you go up in length. I've actually found the 173 to be my preferred length over the 181, even though I'm pretty tall at 6'2". I just thought that the 173 turned where it was intending to turn. The 181 just seemed to want to go a little bit straighter and make longer turns, and that kind of, in my mind, eats into what this ski does really well, which is make clean, concise, and linked carved turns. So having a slightly shorter ski for me was a big benefit. It's also a pretty stable construction, so you don't really need to size up to access stability or performance. But just my personal experience on the ski in terms of length, and I know other people have felt that way, kind of, you know, wondering why I would be in such a short ski in something like this. Simple matter of preference. And then in that 78 millimeter waist, you know, that's wide enough for, you know, a better platform to stand on for degrading snow conditions. You know, we got on this, it was, you know, a pretty warm morning, so it was a softer snow day, but you can still feel the bottom. And I think that that's where something like this really comes in handy, where that upper surface is soft and you're digging in, but then you find that bottom layer, which is really firm. That's where a Forza 70, something of this width with this style of build, is just a lights out type of ski. But they don't have to build in as much camber into this as some of the other skis in the Forza line, mainly because it's powerful already, and it does have a very dramatic side cut. So when you kind of look at the, you know, at the profile, at the footprint here, there's not much else out there that looks like this. You know, it's just the edges vector out into infinity and just have a very flat and low profile tip shape here. Minimal rocker just for initiation purposes, but it's a wide shovel. And I think this is where I found a lot of versatility and a lot of fun, is just allowing this shovel to glide up and over any type of softer snow. You know, it's a little daunting in the moguls and stuff like that, but again, another argument for going slightly shorter is that they're just more mobile, not as much of a handful as the 181 in the bumps. And then if you get them in the trees, I mean, it's still a pretty sharp and precise ski. So there's not a whole lot of driftiness or playfulness, but you can at least move them. They will, they'll respond to you for sure, for better or for worse. And then a very sharp and angular tail, minimal rocker and zero taper, very flat, very sharp, very crisp and concise. So when you exit that turn, you really feel like you're getting propelled into the next turn very easily, very quickly. But the difference in tip and tail width is kind of one of the standout aspects here, where you have this wider shovel, this oversized shovel shape. It does have a torsional stiffness layer in there as well, so that helps you get up on a higher edge angle. But having that wider and this relatively narrower for how wide the shovel is allows you to steer the ski really easily. So I think that that's another way that the softer snow capability of this Forza 70 really stands out, is that you're not locked into an across the fall line turn. Rather, you can kind of mix up your shape and style. It's a strong build, but it's still not a race ski, so you can still manipulate it, especially if you're kind of a more skilled skier, bigger skier, with a little bit more experience. Definitely falls into that expert category. Not that it's unapproachable for an advanced skier, but an expert skier is certainly going to be able to find all of the benefits here. And then in terms of application, it's really, really fun and really useful for a lot of days. Here in Vermont, there's just a ton of use for this. If you're playing the odds, chances are you're going to get a Forza 70 day more often than not. So that makes it a really good choice for a lot of skiers here in the eastern United States and other areas where we don't see abundant and consistent snowfall, but rather just a mix of conditions and terrain bordering on firm. Make sure you check out this Rossignol Forza 70 here at skiessentials.com, and we'll see you out there on the hill. Bye.